Good morning and welcome to Peace Out, where we are all learning together to peace out, right? And I'm having to practice it big time this morning because here's what happened. See what happened. This is what happened was I bought this new mic, right? You've probably seen me wearing it, and it works okay. I've kind of figured out how it works, and I had packed it because I thought I was taking Chris back to the hospital, and I'd packed it in this nice little box so I could take it with me, so I would have it if we had to go back last week. It was like that was Thursday night or Friday, after Friday, I guess. And so as I started getting ready for the broadcast this morning, for the live, I was like, I can't find it anywhere. I'm like, how do you lose something in your own house, right? I found the charger. The charger's on my USB strip in there to get it where the mic could charge, but I can't find the mics. I can't find the box. I'm like, I was just like, you big dummy, how do you lose something in your own house? And that just that thought, I was kind of laughing at myself because I do this a lot. And so, but as I was thinking about it, I thought, we get lost in our own house, in our thoughts. We get lost in our own thoughts, and it's our own thoughts that try to rob us of peace. The devil doesn't even have to do a whole lot of work, right? Sometimes he just gives us one little thought and we will run with it sometimes, and we'll get lost, and it's our own heads. And we get lost in this house of our brain, right? We get lost, and all of a sudden we're doubting and we're fearful. And I was like, that is crazy. And I guess that was on my mind because I was reading in Psalm 139 this morning where it says that you know my every thought when far away. And it goes on to talk about how he knows all of our thoughts. And I'm like, I have so many thoughts. How can God know my thoughts? And how can he know them before I even think them? That's how cool God is, though, right? And so I started thinking about, I went back to David, the story of David and Goliath, and how his brother said, how come you're not taking care of your sheep? He was trying to get in his head. You know, it's a strategy if you watch football or other sports. If you can talk to someone and get in their head, you can do a couple of different things. One thing you can do is you get them distracted, right? You say the right thing. We used to say, when I played flag football at East Central in the intramural sports, you know, we'd start saying things like, hey, do you need a set of luggage? I got this really cool set of luggage because, or we'd just say something crazy, you know, hey, did you go to the dance last weekend? You know, because when you say something different, you distract them and they'll forget the play. That was the whole thing. You want them to forget the play. Well, can I say that sometimes our enemy is a little shrewd like that, and all he has to do is distract us and we forget the play. Well, the play, there's only one play when we're talking about peace out. The play is to trust God. But we let things get in our head, and then when we think on them and we continue thinking on them and we chase them with our thoughts, we forget the play. And the play is just trust God. Just go back and trust God, right? So no matter what is going on in front of us, no matter what is going on in these little pea brains of mine, right? Our brains, we got to go back to the initial play. And the initial play is roll all of your anxieties over on God, trust him, and he will give you peace. The whole play is let God's peace reign. And what we do, maybe I should say what I do, is my thoughts will start going down a vein, and I'll start chasing, and then I get anxious, and then I'm going, and then I get all these fears, and I get all these doubts, and I end up in this crazy place mentally when all I had to do is stay with the play. And the play is, no matter what, trust God, right? No matter what, hold on to his word. No matter what, why? Because he's got us. But David's brother was saying, why don't you go take care of those poor little sheep over there? And he was trying to put him in his place. He was trying to get in his head and tell him, you're worthless. You're just a shepherd boy. Now this same brother, can I point this out? This same brother was there when Samuel came and anointed David as king. This same brother was there when Samuel said, Jesse, bring all of your sons. And Jesse brought almost all of his sons. And Samuel walked through all the smart ones, all the strong ones, all the older ones, all the wiser ones, all the good ones, so to speak. And he said, don't you have any more? Because none of these are it. None of these are going to be the king. Are you sure? Why would you have to check? Are you sure you brought all of your sons? And Jesse went, oh, there is one more. or David's out back keeping the sheep. And maybe not stated there, Jesse was like, but surely it's not him. Now, he didn't say that out loud. We don't have that record, And and then Samuel said, we don't sit down till David gets here. So all those brothers had to stand there while somebody went and got David and stayed with the sheep and sent David back. And then that same brother that said, where's those little sheep you're taking care of, that's trying to minimize what David did, trying to make him feel less important, trying to make him feel not even on the ticket, so to speak, right? That same brother that's trying to get in David's head while they're staring down Goliath, that same brother who's been running from Goliath with everyone else, by the way, was there when Samuel said, this is the one. And he anointed his head with oil and said, this is the next king of Israel. That same brother, now David's looking at Goliath going, so what do you get when you kill this dude? Right? There was no should I, could I, would I. David's like, what do you do when you what do I get when I take this giant out? What's in it for me? This same brother that's watching David contemplate taking down the giant when everybody else is running away, saw him be anointed king, and yet he said, where's your little sheep? How come you're not out taking care of your little sheep? He's trying to minimize David. David didn't let him in his head. David said, what did I do now? And then he went right on asking, now what do I get when I take him out? What's the reward for taking out the giant? What do I get? And he didn't let Eliab, I think was his name, in his head. See, my problem, and I won't put this on you, is I get a thought in my head and I start thinking I'm not worthy. I'm not worth it. I'm not smart enough. This thing, whatever this thing is for you or me, is going to take me out this time. And yet I look back over my life and realize that God has gotten me through every single thing. Think about it. We are right here today. What's today? October 7th, 2024. And nothing has taken us out yet. We have overcome every obstacle the enemy has thrown at us, life has thrown in front of us on our pathway. We've climbed over every mountain we had to get here. We've gone through all those valleys of sorrow and pain that we had to get right here. And what is right here? The same thing we've always had to do. Just trust God. Trusting God has gotten us to right here. We can't let the enemy get in our head, but God knows our thoughts. He even knows when we don't trust him. He may not say anything, but he knows when we've got that doubt of, oh man, God, are you big enough for this one? Can you get me through this one? Man, this is so big. This is so hard. This is so trying. This is so hot. It's a hot fire or it's a big flood. Can God get me through this? And the answer is unequivocally always absolutely yes. But he knows when our thoughts try to distract us. We get lost in our own house, and God knows it. And you know what he does? He just waits and then reels us back in. He waits for us to reel our thoughts back in. He waits for us to reel our hearts back in and take control of this house again. And because you know what I said today? I said, that's it. I am cleaning house today because I'm going to find them little speaker, that little microphone, right? I'm going to clean house. And so what it did is it brought me back into control. When I got lost in my own house this morning, the frustration, I didn't burn the house down. I didn't say, that's it, I'm moving. That's it. No, I said, I'm going to clean this house. And when we get lost in our house or our mind and our thoughts start running away and we start realizing that we're doubting, that we lack faith, or we fear. Fear is a lot of times we get caught up in fear because we get lost in our house here, right? Just reel it back in and go, God has got me right here. I just need to clean out anything in this house, my brain, that's fighting that. Anything that's helping me grow doubt needs to go. Anything that's helping me grow faith, the Bible, right, needs to stay. So there's an old saying that says, feed what you want to keep. Feed doubt if you want to live in doubt. Feed faith if you want to live in faith. Feed fear if you want to live in fear. Feed faith. Feed God. Feed the God inside of you, so to speak. Feed that part of you that trusts God. Feed them by reading the Word, by praying, by getting to know God better. Feed what you want to keep. Do you want to keep doubt? Do you want to keep fear? Embrace them. Run with them. They'll live with you happily ever after, right? And you won't be happy ever after. Or you can feed the things that help your heart and mind have peace, and help your heart and mind trust God. Help you drive that love towards God, that be more passionate about God and have more faith. Feed those things, right? And only you can figure out what's living in your house, and only you can figure out how to feed what helps you with your faith and trusting God, right? And it all comes back down to just going, God is still God. I'm going to trust him. I'm going to have faith in him, and I'm going to peace out, because the God of peace keeps this house. I'm just going to keep trusting him, right? And keep peacing out. Peace out, you guys. I hope I said something that makes sense. See you again tomorrow.